Okay. Anger in response to insults is unreasonable, for insults are merely assertions that someone has undesirable characteristics. Okay. If such an assertion is false, the insulted party ought to pity the ignorance prompting the insult. If it's true, I guess if the assertion is true, the insulted party should be grateful for such useful information. Okay. And which one of the following, if assumed, enables the argument's conclusion to be properly drawn? Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a sufficient.
What is our conclusion here?
Okay. I think it's anger in response to insults is
Yeah.
unreasonable.
So anger in response to insults is unreasonable. And we have our premise indicator word with the therefore.
Or
And then what's our support for? So we're saying, hey, anger in response to insult is unreasonable because insults are just assertions that someone has, like, or you're just like you're saying that someone has something undesirable. And then it goes on for this support. If such an assertion is false, so if it's false, then the insulted party ought to pity the ignorance prompting the insult. And if it is true, so I'm gonna say like not false,
Yeah.
then the insulted party should be grateful for the useful information.
Yeah.
So what we want to prove that the response to insults is like anger in response to insult is unreasonable. So what could we predict here, or what could we say that would guarantee this conclusion? How could we connect it?
That anger in response to insults is unreasonable. If false, they ought to pity the ignorance. I guess we would just have to connect it. I'm not really necessarily sure how, but I know we have to include like an angry response or some sort of like.
All right, let's go ahead and start with A.
Okay. Actions prompted by ignorance do not warrant hostile reactions. I don't think we're talking about hostility. I think hostility is different from anger.
Which, even if they're not, this is only saying actions prompted by ignorance. So this is only
One part.
on one half. Yeah, it's not even relating to the other one. So it can't be A.
Okay.
All right, what about B?
Anger is an unreasonable response to useful information. I know we talk about that if the assertion is true, the insulted party should be grateful. And if you're grateful, then you shouldn't be angry. Maybe, but it only talks about one half,
Yes,
right?
exactly. It's only one half. So what about, is anger okay whenever the
It's
assertion is
false.
false?
Yeah, we don't know.
Exactly. So that's why B is wrong. Excellent. All right, what about C?
Anger is an unreasonable response to any action that should prompt pity or gratitude. Oh, that has both.
Yeah, I
Okay.
really like this one.
That's
All right.
good. And it says any action. That's like
Yes, and
all.
yes. And it's talking
Okay.
about both of these when it's true or not true. So yep, but okay, let's go on. What
Love
about
that.
D?
Gratitude and pity are reasonable responses to some forms of hostile or insensitive behavior. No, again, they're using hostile or insensitive, but I don't think that's even what we're talking about when we are talking about anger in response.
Excellent. Yeah. And we don't care, like we're trying to prove that anger is unreasonable. Just because gratitude and pity are reasonable in some of these situations doesn't guarantee that anger is never reasonable.
Unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not D.
And then pity is the only reasonable reaction to people with undesirable characteristics. Again, that's only talking about one part, right?
Well,
Pity,
pity is the only to people's
ignorance.
reaction to people with undesirable characteristics. Like we're saying that our merely assertions, like
That
whenever someone
someone has
insults you, that you're the person with undesirable characteristics.
Mhm.
So that would be like the person giving the insult is what E is referring to.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
E.
think E is trying to like combine the two together, but it just like doesn't make sense either.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, C is a good one.